That's our connection. Welcome back to another great episode of WWE WAR, Wrestling Above Replacement. I am JT. Joining me, as always, is my good buddy Marcus. And on this here show, we're going to be stack ranking every WWE pay-per-view of all time on our little scientific-based metric system that we've been working through. This podcast is simulcast audio and video audio on most podcast applications, except for those Grinches at Spotify, and I should say those Santa Clauses on Spotify. Under North South Connection, if you subscribe, and then video on our YouTube channel under North South Connection. You can find a lot of great content. It's Royal Rumble season, WrestleMania season's around the corner. We have a lot of cool content. We just had Saturday's main event, so we got content around that. We got drafts for the Rumble. We have countdowns for the Rumble coming. We have all kinds of cool Rumble content. It's one of the best times of the wrestling year for sure across the board. And we are here to take you through it on the North-South Connection. Be sure to subscribe, like, love, leave us a comment, what you like, what you don't like. Marcus, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm good. Santa brought me the number 9 pick for the NFL draft with my Kansas City Chiefs. I'm looking forward to the draft already. Head down, enjoying playoff football as a spectator for the first time in a long time. What's it like? Give me some tips.
You kind of enjoy it. You get into the crazy games. You hate watch more than root watch.
Okay, all right.
I was watching Aaron Rodgers. He lost. Gonna be hate watching the Pats. So you kind of hate watch more than you like watch.
Okay.
You also get irrationally angry about things. Like Tomlin getting run out of Pittsburgh. Because they haven't a losing season in 17 years. I've had one winning season in 17 years as a fan. So I'd like to get some of that. But anyway, you'll enjoy it nonetheless, and you'll be right back in the mix next year, I'm sure.
All right, thank you.
Same for me. This isn't airing at Christmas time, but we are covering tonight In Your House 5, which is known for probably one of the most Christmas-themed pay-per-views they've done, really. We have a Santa Claus appearance. We got snow falling everywhere. We got bright blue mats doused in bright red blood. So we had a lot going on here tonight in Hershey. Marcus, you want to quickly kind of explain the concept of what we do before we get to the rules themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. So we start off with a baseline. All of our matches kind of start with above replacement level, below replacement level. That line is set at 2.5 stars, rating, whatever, 2.5. Anything above gets points. Anything below gets dinged. And then we also try to cover all the intangibles of a show. The atmosphere, so that could be crowd noise, that could be the set, that could be the ring ropes. I could cover a lot of ground. Memorable fans, chants, anything like that that added to the overall aura of a show. Backstage interviews, which usually don't get factored into show quality when it's just based off matches. So we try to combine all that stuff and we put it into a big mixing pot, and then out comes our WAR rating for the show.
That's it. We cover the shows end to end beyond just the in-ring pretty much. And we do it a seasonal format. So every season we kind of jumble up, pick a random season. We start with the show following WrestleMania in a given calendar year, and we wrap with the following year's Mania. So for this season, 95-96, we started In Your House 1, and the season will end with WrestleMania 12. We'll kind of do some season ending awards. We'll see where the season stacks against its other seasons, and then we'll pick a new one. We'll kind of jump around and go to another one. So that pretty much covers the concepts. To get a little bit more granular, dig a little bit deeper, we're going to turn things over to our producer, not the toolman Tim Taylor, who's with us, and he's going to run over the rules for you before we dive into the show.
Welcome to WWE WAR. I'm producer Tim. JT and Marcus have taken on the noble task of finding the true answer to the age-old question wrestling fans have debated for years. What is the greatest WWE pay-per-view of all time? To find the answer, WAR looks to explore each and every pay-per-view using a plus-minus scale at a baseline average, where things above average gain a point and things below average lose a point. WWE WAR grades on several categories, including match quality, build, commentary, atmosphere, notable moments, card structure, and rewatchability. The magic number to remember for WWE WAR is 2.5. That is the baseline number for an average replacement level match. Any grade higher or lower than 2.5 raises or lowers the average WAR score. For example, if JT and Marcus give a match a 3-star rating, then that match is 0.5 points above replacement. Add all of the totals up and you get your nice round number to give you your match quality grade. There's also a bonus. If there is a match that both JT and Marcus rate 4.25 or higher, or 0.75 or lower, that match gains or loses a point for either an all-time great match or an all-time bad match. By the time we're done, we will have composed the most comprehensive list ever for WWE pay-per-views to give you the answer of what is the greatest WWE pay-per-view of all time. Take it away, boys.
If I had pants on, I was going to do a mule kick for you. Marcus is muted, but he's laughing his ass off. You can see it if you're watching on video.
Oh, I had a tasty comment about the hog. HOG. But
We're a big video podcast. I should say that. I kind of mentioned we're simulcast. Like, if you're listening, I would recommend going to YouTube and watching. First, we're an elite t-shirt podcast, as my partner always says. Second of all, we have some great graphics. The show can be a little tricky to follow at times. We kind of have a lot of numbers, a lot of pluses, minuses, a lot of categories. And our good producer, Tim, has put together some sexy graphics. You can see in there in the corner for you to see if you watch. I think it's a little bit easier to follow along. And, of course, my partner has his Bret Hart shirt on. It's a big Bret Hart night. I went the Christmas theme. I got my When I Think About You, I Touch My Elf Santa shirt with my Santa hat. All right, why don't we dive in to In Your House 5. I don't think it was called Seasons Beatings like going into it, but it was those things where they'd always add the tagline after for like the VHS or whatever. But Seasons Beatings is the one, the tagline they ended up giving this thing when they released it on Coliseum. December 17th, 1995, at the time, becomes their latest in the year pay-per-view, I guess, unless you're counting No Holds Barred, the match, the movie, which aired at the end of December. But outside of that, it's their latest proper pay-per-view. Tuesday in Texas was also in December, but that was like December 3rd or something. So this is the latest we run a show here on pay-per-view in the World Wrestling Federation, Hershey Park Arena, Hershey, Pennsylvania, and attendance 7,289. And Marcus, this is kind of around your stomping grounds, right? In Hershey Park?
Yeah, it is.
Attendance?
Absolutely. Yeah. The Hershey Park Arena is now used for like all the staff at Hershey Park. They do like their staff meetings and all that good stuff, trainings. But the building's still there. It still has all of its character. You can see it from the outside. It's beautiful. It's right next to the Giant Center, which is where WWE runs TV. I think maybe they've done a pay-per-view there. I think Unforgiven might have been there a long time ago. But yeah, it's still a historic building. Yeah, it's still got all of its character.
When I went there for a softball tournament a few years ago, and you made sure to point out to me where to look to see the building.
That's right.
I was right outside there. So there you go, Hershey Park. And I remember the show for one thing. I think of the bright blue mats. So we'll talk about that because it really stands out later. This is one I did not watch live, and I specifically remember like going out for something Christmas related, and then going to like my parents' friend's house to exchange gifts or something, and like just sitting there pissy that I wasn't like able to order the show that night. And I think I got the tape from my buddy pretty quick after, but so I didn't see this one in the moment. I think I saw it a week or so after this, but anyway. All right, why don't we dive into the matches and then we'll get rolling. Let me just check real quick here. Although, Tim, do you have any pre-show stuff? All right, I'll check it out right now. In Your House 5. All right, so no pre-show matches. There are 3 dark matches after this ends. Goldust, who we've talked about in the last couple episodes, if he's Duke the Dumpster Droese. Barry Horowitz, Hakushi, and the Smoking Guns defeat Yokozuna, Isaac Yankem, and the Badianas. And that sounds like a Survivor Series match of like nightmares. It sounds like one that me and Aaron would be rebooking on No Holds Barred as part of our 96 rebook series, which, by the way, I will recommend checking out because it kind of times along with this and our next episode. Him and I have been rebooking the entire season started at WrestleMania, pretty much actually at Rumble 95. We're going to WrestleMania 12. And we just did an episode that covers In Your House 5 and the 96 Rumble, which is where we're the corridor that we're in. So if you want to hear kind of an alternate version, a much better version, I would argue, we've done it in a realistic way for the most part. Like we've used everyone that's just kind of there on the roster and rebooked these shows. So check that out. Noah's Bar drops every other Friday here on the North-South Connection. And then Bob Backlund defeats Savio Vega. What a weird series. I would like the vault keeps dropping these random shits. I would love to see like these dark matches from the show because that is 3 random ass matches for sure.
Especially Backlund up on Savio.
Yeah.
It's a weird.
Someone must have interfered like that. Like,
yeah.
Because I don't know.
Well, yeah, we got some shenanigans on the show. Yeah. So maybe that came into play.
All right, so these dark matches that end the show. To open us up, we have Razor Ramon and Marginetti taking on 1, 2, 3 Kid and Psycho Sid. So Sid and Kid had come together as part of the kind of DiBiase's corporation when Kid had turned heel. Sid was kind of doing the big angry brother gimmick for him, protecting him. And they fight Razor and Jannetty. I like Razor and Jannetty coming out with the matching leather jackets. That's kind of cool for this one. Razor's got the banana yellows on. I went 2 3/4. I think it's a pretty solid opener. And Razor and Jannetty go over. So good on them. Sid takes the pin. So they're protecting Kid. Sid, meanwhile, is definitely sliding down. Razor, I think, beats him with like a bulldog or something. Like it's not even anything like too serious. And this is a guy that had multiple world title matches this year. They were angling these guys. I guess we'll talk about it probably next episode a little bit more. But they were supposed to win the tag belts at the Rumble. Like that was scheduled, and then Sid ends up leaving. So we won't see Sid again this season. We've obviously talked about it quite a bit. We'll see him again in future seasons, but for now, we're done with Sid. Do you think they have potential as a team? Like if Sid would have stuck around to win the tag belts, or do you think it's kind of an odd match?
This run of Sid from like In Your House to here, In Your House to In Your House, basically, it's such like a slump for Sid. He really doesn't have any slumps, which is one of the really cool parts about Sid. He's just high energy. He's just intense, and he's got a good run wherever he goes, and he's over. It's not that he's not over here. It's just it feels like this is the floor for what Sid could be. So with Kid's on his way out, Sid's out. I feel like that would have been kind of grasping at straws, would have flamed out.
Agreed. What'd you have for a match on this for a grid?
2.5, perfectly acceptable at replacement level. 2.5
standard opening tag. But in a way too, it's like I don't know. This card's kind of weird. We'll talk about it, I guess. It just feels like you're using 3 work rate guys in kind of a sluggish tag. We'll see how that affects the card.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have quite the segment that leads us to a match, followed by quite the segment again. But we get the match in the ring. It is Buddy Landell.
Not Buddy Rydell?
Not Buddy Rydell. Taking on the big bad Johnson, Ahmed Johnson. Goose egg for me. Hate to do it to my boy Ahmed Johnson. At least it was quick, but what a mess this was. 0 for me.
So I never really this match is a real mindfuck because I remember Backlund coming out and introducing Dean Douglas, but that's cut from the official airings of this, right? Do you remember? I don't think that was on the cock Backlund, right? That's cut out, but it definitely happened, and I went digging for it, and it exists. Backlund comes out, he rambles. Well, first Manny Garcia, the announcer, fucks up and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, Buddy Rydell," and then Backlund comes out. He brings out Douglas, who talks. Then Douglas brings out Landell, who then takes
Lawler
Douglas.
Gets in.
Oh, is it Waller? No, Waller brings out Jarrett. Doesn't he?
Lawler saves. I thought Lawler saved part of the segment. He shuts
Lawler,
Garcia up.
I think even before that, Lawler brings out Jarrett to talk. Then Manny Garcia fucks up. Then Backlund comes out. brings out Douglas, who brings out Landell. Ahmed kills Landell, and then Jarrett attacks Ahmed after the match, and Douglas is gone. This is it for Douglas. It's a shit show. But for whatever reason, the Backlund stuff is cut from like and I don't know why. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I don't think he does anything. I don't know, Tim, if you can confirm some of this while we're going. But Landell, had been working hard for this shot for a while. And he had been doing really good work in Smoky Mountain, I believe, in 95, right? I think he had a big match with Sean in the fall. And he gets this match, he gets a Raw match, and he finally kind of had a chance. And I think he signed. And then he blew his knee out. He fell on ice, like going to the arena, and fucked his knee up. And that was it. So it kind of sucked. But there's some layers here too, right? Because Douglas is obviously a big Flair hater. So him being with the Nature Boy, bringing up the Nature Boy. And they even give him the old Flair note of music. Dun, 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 Ahmed destroys him. And then Jarrett beats him up. So, yeah, it's a dud. I mean, the whole thing is a fucking disaster. Tim, what'd you find out?
Yes, you guys have the timeline pretty much right. I'm pulling from a report from JTR Wrestling. So the segment, not you, or TJR, not JTR.
Oh, sorry. Is it not me?
Yeah, not you. I'm not citing ourselves as a source here. So the segment started. It started with Jerry Lawler interrupting the ring announcer. Then Double J comes out. They talk about his record sales. Talks about Ain't I Great. Lawler invites Jarrett to do commentary. Mm-hmm. Then Dean Douglas comes out with a limp and then introduces Buddy Landell again.
No, but there's still Backlund in there. See, he's reviewing.
Backlund isn't in this report.
No, so I know. Because he probably reviewed it later.
Right. So again, like Presto Strangeo, Bob Backlund, does he exist? Does he not exist? Is he a Slenderman? A Skinwalker? No, it's
not a Mandela effect in my mind.
Oh, he's in the building. Like, we know that.
We just talked to him. He's in the main event of the show. I mean, not televised, but he's there.
All right, I'm going to our old friend, the purveyor, Graham Cawthon.
There he is. If you want something done right, go there. The only reason I didn't go there is because typically he doesn't have everything in timeline. Like, he has all the matches, but then there's the section on top that's like, also, this happened.
Yeah, he mentions either. But I know when we watched it, because I have it in my minuses, and I confirmed it. I'm pretty sure that it happened. I could have swore I looked around and found it.
While you're digging that up, I will point to the genius of Jerry Lawler during this segment. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody try so successfully to pull a stinker of a segment up from the mud. He interrupts Manny Garcia, who botches Landell's name. He goes on and rambles a little bit to bring out Double J, and then even post-match, he's still like saving the segment. It's just the kind of quick thinking that, unless it's Snoop Dogg and The Miz in the ring, it just doesn't exist in today's WWE. And as much of a train wreck as the segment was, I can only imagine how bad and scrubbed from history even more this segment would be if it happened in like current day WWE. But yeah, this is a kind of like a masterclass by Lawler on like how to stall for time and save a segment and try to cover up a jumpy ring announcer. He puts a little bit of heat on Manny Garcia, calls him like an idiot.
So I found Backlund.
All right, because I found our review, me and Scott's review, and it's in there.
Yeah. But it looks like, so what's mentioned is before the match is supposed to be Douglas versus Johnson, but before the match, Bob Backlund came out and introduced Douglas in his own unique verbose way.
That's me. That's my review you're reading.
Oh, then, hey, there we go. JTR reviews. Here we are.
We are citing ourselves as a source.
Yes, we are citing ourselves now. But yeah, even back when you wrote this the first time, very scathing, or not scathing, but definitely down, like confusing. And good to know that even time lost 15, 16 years later, it still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. This is me and Scott's old review from we probably did this in friggin' 2006 or something. You know what I mean? So I probably watched this on my VHS is what I'm guessing. So that's probably why I have it on here, is because I have the original VHS recording of this show. So it has to be, I know what happened. If anyone wants to verify for us, but I don't know why they cut it off. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. We've got Charles and we've got Landy trying to preserve and save wrestling history. JT, this is where you come off the bench and you're getting your minutes and you're hitting a big 3 off the bench, because outside of you, I haven't seen or heard the Backlund bit, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Don't let them.
It worries me that the only place I found anything about it was my own review. But but in your house 3, he does introduce him. So I'm a little bit worried in my mind I've conflated those two, but I don't think so. I feel like he came out here. I'm gonna have to pull a VHS. I'm gonna have to have Rocco pull up his VCR. And
as chaotic as this segment is, I could totally see then Backlund comes out to introduce Douglas, who then introduces Buddy Rydell. I can see it.
Because I feel like even if you watch back, I feel like there's an awkward cut. Like if you pull it up on Netflix, Tim, maybe you can do that for us. Pull it up on Netflix. I feel like there's an awkward cut as well, like before where Backlund would have been. I guess, again, my brain, I've seen a lot of wrestling. My brain could have completely mixed up 3 and 5, but I don't know. I don't feel like it. I feel like I'm right. All right. All that said, this match sucked. Jared attacks Ahmed. That's up there for you. What's next? It's the most time anyone's spent on this for sure.
Sure is.
All right. You heard it in our rules as Henry Godwin takes on Hunter Helmsley. Although I don't think Hank yet was using Don't Go Mess with a Country Boy, because Hillbilly Jim is just a referee for this match. He's not yet managing old Hank. I think that starts after this. He stays with him. These two have been feuding, of course. And it makes sense, right? The pretty boy versus the slot merchant with these two. And this is a hog pen match. You win the match by throwing your opponent in the slop. And it's a pretty memorable match. I always find it funny that a lot of fans, I believe, think of this as part of the punishment as the curtain call stuff, and forget it was 6 months before that. So this is just a normal thing. This match to me was actually fine. 2.5. It's pretty hard hitting. I think the gimmick is unique. If it fits these two well, it's pretty nasty because Hunter's back gets sliced open, and then he's rolling around in this pig shit, which feels like I cannot believe he didn't get a staph infection or worse. It's pretty gross. But Hunter wins the match, right? He throws Henry in the slot, but then Henry kind of gets the last laugh by chucking Hunter around in the pigs after the match, which makes sense. I mean, Hunter's obviously being positioned for a little bit more of a run. Henry would be in a tag team by our next show, which we'll talk about. So 2.5 for me, Marcus.
Yeah, 2.75 for me. Everything you just said, I think it's a really good gimmick match, as unconventional as it is. I think they do a really good job working the gimmick, incorporating the environment into the brawl as well. I think they do a really good job with that, and pretty creative with Helmsley picking up the win with the backdrop. It plays into him being, a thinking man's wrestler, as Triple H, as Jim Ross will later coin him. But it's how do you pick up a win over the hog farmer, without cheating necessarily in a match that there's no real rules in. But it plays into Triple H's character that he would out wrestle him and outsmart him. So pretty good, all things considered. And I've got the segment on the background.
The background,
the Buddy Rydell segment, the cock version or the Netflix version. So I'm gonna keep an eye out. See if I can catch a.
If you see the awkward cut, there's an awkward cut.
Yeah.
Someone else, save me, please. Let me know.
And next up, we've got Diesel taking on Owen Hart. And Owen's going to actually pick up the win here by disqualification. I went 1.5, which, I mean, I'm pretty big on Diesel. I'm pretty big on Nash. Probably a lot lower on Owen. It's in this match, I noticed a new thing with Owen Hart, and now I can't unsee it, is that he doesn't really sell. He takes bumps, but he doesn't really sell.
Right. He is a big bumper.
And yeah, so that's bugging me now. It's an eyesore every time I'm watching an Owen Hart match now. I'm like, is he selling? So yeah, anyways, 1.5 for me. They just couldn't really get it going here.
Yeah, and it's almost meant to be more of a Diesel squash anyway, and that's pretty much what it is. It's there is a story to it, right? Diesel wants revenge for Owen injuring Sean on Raw after Survivor Series, right? Knocked him out the enziguri. And Diesel's on his own little journey, right? Because he's kind of turning into the heel Diesel character. He's a little bit more attitude, a little bit more edge coming off Survivor Series. He cut that kind of shoot promo on Raw where he had the leather jacket on and the hat. So this was meant to be like an FU Diesel, like just come out and destroy this guy. And he just like snaps and gets disqualified. So, it's kind of a weird match on paper. And again, it felt like more of an ends to a means match. Like we're going to, our goal is to do more character work for Diesel than anything else in this match. And that's it. So, and they kind of sacrificed.
There's a bump that Owen takes. I think it's out of the corner. I can't remember exactly what it is, but like he takes a nasty bump. And they kind of go home relatively quickly. Like they go on for a couple more minutes, but it feels like some of the match might have got cut. Because Owen takes a nasty bump, but he seems kind of out of it.
I mean, maybe it's only like 4 minutes, I think, right? So there's definitely a chance they cut early or something. Yeah, it's 4.5 minutes. So.
Yeah.
And nothing else is that long in the show besides the main event and the opener. So it's like, yeah, there's a chance they went home early on it. I don't know. All right, so 2 for me. Just kind of a squash. Next up, we kind of have the big payoff finally from King of the Ring. Is Undertaker buries King Mabel. 1.5 for me. About what you would expect from these guys. They give them 6 minutes. It's the match that didn't happen at In Your House 4 when Taker had the busted face, and they did that stupid thing with Yokozuna. So they come back now and they finally have the match. It's a casket match. Taker locks him in the casket and kind of seals the deal on Mabel's run as a main event or for good. Mabel hangs around into January a little bit. We'll see him on our next show, and then he's gone. So yeah, he kind of sends him down the Hershey Highway to Hell, buddy, on this one. Ends the whole run. And this is really Taker's like, we kind of saw Brett ending his run of like mediocrity at Survivor Series for the year, like dealing with the mid-card dudes. Mm-hmm. And to me, this was Taker slamming the door on the last 14 months of his bullshit between the corporation, the chain, the urn, the fat guys, like all that, like that's all dead now. And, he's set up by the end of the night, which we'll talk about. He is set up to, be a world title contender again. So this is kind of him just having to finish the story, end Mabel's run, and then set himself up.
Yeah, 1.75 for me. Everything you said though, it's okay. Could have been a lot worse. And yeah, this is really it for Mabel. They speed run him as a main eventer. They give him the King of the Ring nod. They spend the summer fast tracking him to Diesel, and then they immediately start pulling from that, and he's just putting guys over, putting top guys over. So, I like King Mabel. I wish there was a little bit more there. But this is going to be the last. Well, not the last. We'll see him at the Rumble. But we're not going to see him in a singles match capacity. This is it for old King Mabel and Mo. So that takes us to.
It seems like just yesterday, Mo was butchering that fucking proclamation.
So long. He's so blown up too. It takes us to our main event. It is for the World Wrestling Federation title. Bret the Hitman Hart taking on the British Bulldog in a rematch of Wembley Stadium, SummerSlam 1992. another 5 for me. This one gets a 5 for me. I think it's a better match than the Wembley match, but this is where, I love Chad's 10-point scale. Because I would have this higher as a 5 than the Wembley match, but either way, they're both a 5 for me. This is just great. Brett really utilizes the location of the show to pull this off. Like all night, you can hear there's like rumblings of ECW fans. Philly's only 90 minutes away from Hershey, give or take a few minutes either way. So there's definitely the ECW Northeastern hardcore wrestling fan presence at this show, in full too. Hershey's a small arena. So, and Brett utilizes that to his advantage, having like this classic back and forth wrestling match, and then just times it perfectly right. Can kind of hear the fans getting a little restless all night, wanting a little bit more physicality. And man, he zips one all timer. Blood instantly pulling up on those blue mats that you've talked about. It's such a great visual. I mean, the canvas is just dirty, disgusting from Brett bleeding. Bulldog's tights are covered in it. It really is. It's such a realistic blade job here. It really adds to the match a ton, I think. And they really sell the exhaustion of the battle as well. And Bulldog really feels like he has the upper hand for most of the match, and they wrestle the match in a style where you think, all right, shoot, like Bulldog can pull this off. There's a big bump on the floor at the power slam. I go on and on. It's a beautiful match. It's 5 for me. It's another classic from Mr. Hitman.
Yeah, it's a great match, including Diana dressed as a hybrid Betty Boop wearing a tablecloth, like that's her cosplay, I believe. She's not as integral in this match as she was at Wembley, but she still gets the looks of concern throughout the night. This is like hearts in the eyes match for me. I love this match. I could watch this thing over and over. It's fantastic. It's so stiff and hard hitting. That's why I think I like it better than Wembley too. I think I'm lower than most on Wembley. I think I'm 4.25. So I have this higher as well. It's something you just didn't get a lot of in 1995. It's bloody. There's pile drivers. There's like, hard stuff on the floor. Like it's just like a brutal match with these two guys. And it's nice to see for Bulldog because his other world title match 2 months ago was dog shit against Diesel. So to see him turn it around here and have this was really cool. It's fantastic. I think it helps solidify him as a top heel coming off of that nonsense in the fall. Yeah, the blood's great. I know Brett ends up deny after, right, with the blade job or whatever. But yeah, classic. And it ends the year, a very shaky pay-per-view year, a very shaky company year with a classic match, which is kind of cool. Kind of gets the December pay-per-view like a classic in the bank, right? When we do all-time December cards and stuff like that, like you get this one lined up because it's so good. The blood all over Bulldog's tights looks awesome too. Like it's just very dirty and gritty. Like you said, it's perfect vibes for the ECW tint to the crowd. That's much better than the last traverse to Philly in June for sure. The crowd is much more forgiving this time around. So yeah, it's a classic. So, all right. So those are your match scores. So we tally all those up from 2.5 and we add them. And that gives us our WAR score for in-ring action of -1.25. So not a very good in-ring show at all. We look at the great shows are kind of 6 to 8 points. The solid shows are kind of 4 or 5. The all right shows in the 2-3. Like anything negatives, it's just like the in-ring takes away from the show more than it helps it. Which stinks because this match is awesome, but the rest of the card just does not deliver in the ring. All right, so let's get to our other categories. We're going to start things off with the build. We gave points for Razor Ramon and the kids still at war from their split. Godwin and Helmsley been going at it. Just kind of natural enemies. Diesel growing an edge. Snapped on Raw, then after Survivor Series. Targets Owen for revenge on Shawn. We didn't talk about it. I kind of referenced it, but we went +3 for the very memorable Raw moment of Owen Hart knocking out Shawn Michaels and then Enziguri, sending him to the hospital and putting him on the shelf until the Rumble, playing off the Syracuse beating. A really well done Raw moment. Like it was very believable at the time when it happened. So it's kind of a classic. A point for Undertaker and Mabel, kind of having their payoff. Started King of the Ring. Mabel broke his face in October. And then Brett and Bulldog, they kind of go back to the old Family Feud rivalry. they tie this back to Wembley and the history there. They got Diana at ringside, so they kind of bring back the family ties here, even though it's been a little bit dormant on that stuff for a while.
Yep. For our minuses, we've got or cons. Nothing. A big nothing. Solid build up. A good follow through from Survivor Series to this point. So
yeah,
looking to make up some ground from the in-ring match quality.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could have like dinged the Ahmed Doug, but that was like just a match to kind of get him over. Like there was no bill, but it wasn't like a lack of bill. It was just like a random pay-per-view match, you know. So all right, well, that's a strong score. I'm assuming that's an 8. So well built little show. These in your houses, the one thing they've had, they've all been pretty well built, and like we've really seen a turn in the company. I think we talked about it last time too, down the back end here from like Survivor Series on. Like they really kind of dive in and dig in to put some thought around how they build these shows. Like we get match announcements by the end of the night for the next pay-per-view. Like they put a lot of time and thought on Raw into building all the matches. Like these from Survivor Series to the end of the season are all pretty well structured as shows. All right, commentary. We have a point for Jeff Jarrett being gone 4 months, but doesn't know anyone. He keeps saying, "Who's this guy?" which is pretty funny. It shows that he had no way gave a shit about this company while being on. A point for doing a good job on commentary, helping up Ahmed as a stud. Nice astute comment for Vince about how Brett changes his style depending on the opponent. A point for doing a good job putting over the severity of Brett bleeding out on the canvas, and a point of for putting over Bulldog in the loss. Like, you know, this is a really hard-fought loss, hard-fought match, a title shot. It doesn't come across in any way like Bulldog jobbed or like no. I mean, he really, you know, looks like a stud in this match.
Yeah. Shout out Jerry. He comes back huge. I think he's gone on record saying this is like the biggest he's ever been, probably until current day. But yeah, he's got to be like 250. He's a monster.
Well, you wonder if he was thinking like, I'm coming back for like a big Mania run, you know?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, lock in, be big for Mania. Probably see the lack of depth in the roster. Got to figure, hey, I got a crack at the top. But yeah, back couldn't hold up. So for our cons, we got Vince completely buries Manny Garcia. Well, I don't think he has any idea what he is doing out there. Seems to be some confusion.
I mean, when does Vince shit on the announcer? I mean, like this was bad. Like you could tell he was pissed. And they've tried Garcia a few times here in 95. I think he did one of the pay-per-view. It was In Your House 2, maybe. I could picture him with the leather jacket. He's done a couple things.
Yeah.
He's gone. I don't think he sticks around after this. Like, this is pretty bad. I'm sure he gets shit canned right away. Like, he really fucks up. I mean, he missed times introducing Landau and butchers his name. Like, 0 for 2.
And like he keeps going. Like all night, he's just off.
Yeah.
We got Vince way too into the slap and the pigs. King's Race's commentary when Savio was talking. Vince
I guess
says,
you want to talk about that segment real quick? We didn't talk about it, but like, it's an infamous one. We probably should have mentioned it earlier. But so Savio Vega comes out with Santa Claus. They're giving out gifts to the kids, and then DiBiase comes out and says he can buy Santa Claus, and Savio says Santa Claus is not for sale. But then Santa is for sale. He attacks Savio Vega, kicks the shit out of him, and reveals he's kind of like a gruff-looking guy. He walks off with DiBiase, and he would be a new member of the stable called Xanta Claus with an X, which feels a little too high concept for 95 WWF, Xanta Claus. He actually does. He wrestles a couple matches. Like he wrestles on Superstars. He's got like the dark, like black Santa pants on. I don't know how they thought this to be a character that would last like beyond Christmas, though. Like it's very weird. This would be the future Balls Mahoney, I believe, right? Portrays this character. It's so funny he's in Philly, pretty much doing this gimmick. But would it have been more successful if they called him Krampus?
Probably one word. Vince loves one word superstars. So yeah, probably more successful. Also, both beatdowns tonight. Jarrett and Ahmed, and then Xanta Claus and Savio Vega. They both go on forever. It's not just like a clean cut.
Right,
Heel gets the jump and then walks away. The babyface looks to get their heat back, and then they brawl in the aisle, and then it goes on for a really long time, and it's both of them. So I feel like there had to be a concerted effort to say, like, let's change up, how we're doing our attacks. The baby
Was
face
Bill
has to
Watts still
fight
around
back.
at this point? This could be a Watts.
I think he's gone. I think he's
Okay.
gone. But it could be his influence. JR maybe might have had a say in it. But yeah, it's definitely noticeable on the show. It really sticks out like a sore thumb. Halfway through here, we got Vince says, "I don't believe that's the real Santa Claus," and then he keeps saying it.
It was like a little bit too much. Like, I get it. It's kids watching probably, but it's a little bit too much. I don't believe this was the real Santa Claus.
Not the King's English Santa. King says the Bulldog is wearing his SummerSlam 92 tights when clearly he is not.
Right.
Probably my only ding against this match is that King thinks he has something.
And don't they show clips of SummerSlam 92 or something? Like, I feel like they talk about it so
earlier.
much.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, it's very obviously not the same ones.
Yeah. Bulldog's got the lace up on the side.
You think he was gonna wear them, and then King just didn't, like, he just went with it? Like, they said, "Oh, Bulldog's gonna wear them," and then maybe he couldn't find them or they didn't fit or something, like, because it feels like
maybe
King probably had it in his notes and they didn't fix the notes when Bulldog couldn't wear them anymore.
Maybe
because I think Bulldog's smaller now than he was. He's still
has to be, yeah.
But he's like pretty jacked. He's got a real fat ass at that show. Like, so, like, it wouldn't shock me if like he'd made it too big for him or something, and he had to like get different ones, because I don't know why King would say it on his own. Like, it feels like maybe again it was in his notes and they didn't smart him up.
Yeah. And then last one here, we get commentary glosses over the Enziguri from Owen to Diesel.
Right.
You talked about how great that angle was. But they really do a poor job following up the Enziguri as an actual move. I think we kind of retcon it into thinking that like it became Owen's like kill shot move. But they do not treat it like that here or a couple other shows that we'll talk about when Owen does hit the Enziguri.
And this is
they mention it,
and they don't mention it when he does it. It's like they're zoned out.
Yeah. So that gives us a total of -1. For commentary.
Definitely in the booth. All right, let's go to atmosphere. We have a point for a good job tying in Christmas and the winter theme. It's the first December pay-per-view. They kind of got the snow in the graphics. They got the jingle bells jingling in the open. They got Zant out here giving gifts, taking gifts. A big pop for the Big Johnson as he comes out. A point for the crowd digging. Hunter flopping around in the slop. Fan hits him in the head with trash as he's, credit to Hunter. Like he's a great stooge in this match. Like he's, Pratt falling over the place in the slop, bumping all over. So that was cool. Point is always for Undertaker's entrance. Point for the big pop for the Hitman. Point for the Hershey Park Arena getting a pay-per-view. It's a historic building, unmistakable ambiance. You get the side entrance, the wood ceiling, the bright blue mats. There was a Saturday Night's Main Event, I believe, was here. There's other famous TV tapings here in the past. There was a Cronoso I was listening to. I don't remember which one it was. And Steve Bennett tells a really good story about going there for hockey, like he was a hockey coach or working or something like that. And he has a cool story about Hershey Park Arena. And then a point for the ECW faithful, the Philly fans helping make that main event click.
All right. Our cons for atmosphere. We get the crowd fading during the long Jarrett segments, and that's it.
Not to be negative with some of these, and the crowd does fade. Those Jarrett segments are long. So for atmosphere, it's not a bad little show. Again, similar to the Bills. They have some intangibles on this night. It's just the core stuff seems to be suffering. Match and commentary. All right, let's see if anything happened. Notable moments. A point for Goldust in the crowd observing Razor Ramon. We didn't talk about that, but he is out there. That kind of kicks off their next feud and angle. He kicks off his obsession. You're my obsession. A point for Jarrett's surprise return. He enters the Rumble officially. That was part of his commentary. Attacks Johnson to kick off their feud. Point for our debuts. Maybe the worst debuts in pay-per-view history outside of like who the fucking guys in 04. Oh my God. Why am I forgetting? What's that Judgment Day 04, that pay-per-view that has all the bad debuts? Who's the priest? Not priest, the angel guy.
Mordecai?
Mordecai and Kenzo Suzuki. And then someone, remember they give him
Yeah, that's a Great American Bash 04.
Yeah. Ugh, awful.
Yeah.
So anyway, this side of that, we have Buddy Landell and Santa Claus as our two debuts for the show. Point for Hillbilly Jim returning to the company. He's the referee. He'll transition to be the Godwin manager. Point for Undertaker finally reclaiming his fucking chain and his urn after a year that's been gone. A point for Vince announcing Undertaker's been confirmed as number one contender for the Rumble, so he'll take on Bret the Hitman Hart. So big doings there. And a point for the blade job by Bret. It's an all-timer. It's a masterclass. You know, you're meeting what the audience wants here. He lies after it, says it was an accident. It's kind of a classic, well-known blade job. Like, anyone who knows this show, the first thing you're thinking of is Bret's blood on those mats, and you can't tell me otherwise. Like, that's the first thing. Yeah. Maybe Santa Claus, but most likely is Bret and maybe the slop. Those are probably your top three. But number one is Bret bleeding out in the Hershey Park Arena. And then you got Xanta, then you got the slop.
Yeah. Shout out Dr. Roma Scavenge, probably helping the Hitman get away with one there. Yes. You can actually hear more about Dr. Roma Scavenge over on Wrestling Warzone. Legend in the PA, New Jersey, New York area. Shout out the doctor. For our cons for notable moments, we've got Sid's final pay-per-view match. Quietly bails out before he and Kid can do some damage in the tag team division. Takes a lame pinfall loss here. Douglas's final WWF appearance, potential fully pissed away.
What a waste! Like, he mentioned so hot when he came in, and he just vanishes here, like just away. I mean, the Click obviously took him out. Listen to me and Aaron and No Holds Barred if you want to hear the real way Shane Douglas should have been presented in the fall of 1995 in WWF.
Yeah, imagine if he was on the stuff that he was on in '97. If he's on it here, like, my gosh, dude.
It's like classic Shane Douglas timing. It's like he just comes in at the wrong fucking time. Like when the Click is at their peak and he pissed them off. Like if he comes in, if he never comes in here and it's like they pay him a jump in '97, like, or, you know, I think he's like a megastar in 98, 97, 98. Like, I think he's a big deal. It's just, they just brought him in at a time where he had no chance. He just gets kneecapped. He gets stuck with a gimmick. And he actually made the gimmick work for, like, as stupid as it is. He makes it work. But then the Click just completely kneecap him.
Yeah. And even, I think if he reverses the order, like if he goes to WCW here and then has a short stint and then goes back to ECW and then goes to WWF, like, yeah, a totally different trajectory for him. We got DiBiase's corporation continuing to freefall, adding Santa Claus to the mix. We get Owens and Zaguri not treated as the kill finish that we all remember. And then Manny Garcia's awful night. Buddy Rydell, Owen Hart, the King of Hearts, on and on for Manny Garcia tonight.
He's rough. I mean, it's such a...
Clearly has no clue what he's doing.
I mean, it's literally written for him. Just say what they wrote. Like,
yeah.
What are we doing? DiBiase, he gets one last shot in like the week after this to turn things around. One last chance. It might be the next night. Is it that Monday, Austin? I think it may be.
I think so.
It's right around here.
But they at least do the TV where he's watching TV and he calls up Brother Love.
Yeah. So that's in here somewhere. But man, that corporation is on fucking life support. Terrible.
It's, you know, whenever you see DiBiase in the church deacon Wednesday night attire, like, it's, you know, you're in for a stinker.
And he has not been much better in WCW, as Chad and I have covered either. Him with the Steiner brothers has been a disaster. Not working. All right, notable moments. Final score 3. All right, not bad for this throwaway show.
Work with that.
Let's get over to this category that likely sinks a lot of these shows, and that's card structure. I see a lot of pluses here, though. Start hot with Ramon and Kid, one of the top feuds, top acts. Using the opener soft launch Goldust and Ramon. We even get to backstage. Again, I think what the usher brings Ramon the note from Goldust. That's pretty good. So, like, they weave that in throughout the night. And, they've done this throughout 95. We've had a lot of show-long through lines kind of on these pay-per-views. So, good on them. Point for the hog pen match. It's a good stipulation, kind of fits the feud well. Point for a good spot for the casket match, symbolizes the end of Taker's endless corporate monster mash, transitions to the world title push. Like, slam the door on the fucking year, all the nonsense, purge it out. Good final segment with the angry Diesel confronting Undertaker about his title shot. So again, some of the stuff we don't always cover because we kind of go match by match. They do kind of the post-show deal here for a bit. And so after it's like the extra or whatever, we go to the extra, And Diesel confronts Undertaker backstage, arguing that he should be getting his rematch for the world title. So, again, teasing some conflict and a potential attitude change for Diesel. A point for Jim Cornette, his promo telling the story that Bret and Bulldog with jealousy as a motive. Really good promo from him. And a good promo by Bret about redemption, dealing with the Wembley loss 3.5 years later, looking for the win back on Bulldog. So, again, the card not, too poorly set up here.
All right. For our cons, we've got Kid loses early in his heel run. Sid takes a mega lame pin on the transition move. Weird choice all around.
Yeah, let's have him pin Jannetty in this match. What are we doing?
Yeah. We got Jarrett rambling way too long, followed by Backlund, the found footage or lost footage, and then Douglas, and then the post-match squash interview. There's so much talking. Beat down, the interview, all of it. There's just so much. Johnson looks dominant, but on a short card. To have a long segment built around a 20-second squash seems useless. Makes Landell look dumb too. Kind of dead in the water there. No need for the screw finish. Just have Diesel maul Owen and pin him to continue the rebuild. Owen's not going to use anything. Yeah, and if my memory serves me right, it's not like Owen really runs with beating Diesel like he would with the two slammies.
No, it's not. I don't think it's anything.
Yeah. So it doesn't even do him any favors. And then so much downtime on the show. The Xanta stuff was fine for superstars at best, but it's stupid here on the pay-per-view. You get Santa, you get all the post-match hog pen stuff, which was good, but adds to the fluff on the show and fodder. Yeah. The post-match beatdown with Ahmed and Jarrett, the interview before and after, it's just a lot.
And Xanta would have been all right if it was just like he's only Santa on this night, and then he's Boo Bradley, or whatever the fuck his name was. Give him another name after this. Like, just have him be dressed up as Santa for that night because it's the holiday episode or whatever. All right, what do we got for a total score here, producer Tim, for card structure? Is a 2. So actually,
all right,
card structure usually destroys shows. So this is actually a pretty good, well-built card. All right, rewatchability. Point for Goldust's lustful promo about Ramon. It was different and well done. Great, again, Cornette promo. Bulldog is taken from Bret throughout his life. His dad's respect, his sister, his IC title. This is good final hype. Really rewatchable promo. Bret's gruesome blade job highlighted across the light blue floor mats, the ring mat, Bulldog's tights. A point for the 6 stiff offense in that main event. You get 2 pile drivers. You get the power slam on the floor. Fuck it, we went +2. I mean, those pile drivers are so nasty. Like, the match is so good. Point for the masterclass by Lawler. Fixes Rydell, gets Jarrett into the post-match promo shot like he's directing traffic out there. Point for Ramon reading the letter and getting pissed off that the usher gives him. It's just mink. And then a point for Doc selling WrestleMania the arcade game. This never gets old.
Well,
what a crazy move.
Yeah, so good stuff there for rewatchability. Check out the cons for rewatchability. We get Manny Garcia continuing to be a mess. Introduces Buddy Rydell too early. Gets buried by Vince. With Backlund's rant and introduction.
When does the ring announcer ever get buried by Vince? Unless it's just him fat shaming Fink.
Or yeah, he doesn't even I guess through the headset. Lillian, the horse face stuff, but
yeah, but he never says it on air. When did he ever rip the ring announcer? Maybe
this has to be
Gorilla with the Mel Phillips with the jokes.
Yeah,
but he blatantly says this ring announcer doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
We get the lost footage of Backlund's rant and introduction of Douglas, cut from Rios. We get Douglas using Landell, I must call him Rydell. Landell is his graduate student using Flair's theme, clear shot at the Nature Boy. Lame and petty. They're already starting to get itchy, as we'll see with the billionaire Ted stuff and the huckster and all that. And wow, Godwin shoving the slop in Hunter's mouth. Was pretty gross. Hunter rolling around in it with the slice back. It's pretty nasty. And then Santa Claus, as stupid as it gets, debuting a wrestler dressed as Santa for the attack is fine, but don't give him the Santa gimmick. It's cooked after December. And then we get the Johnson Jarrett brawl, which seemed like a big mess.
All right, so rewatchability score 1. I believe we have one all-time. Well, actually, it's a wash probably for all-time match. Yeah, we go all one-time had
really is.
You know, so Brett Bulldog is an all-time good match for us. We both had it over 4 1/4, but we get the negative point because we both had Johnson and Rydell at a 0. So that's an all-time bad for us. That gives us a final war score 17.75, 70th all-time, which isn't terrible, Marcus. Like,
no.
You know, I feel like the show doesn't have the best reputation, but out of 149 shows, like, you know, it's halfway from what we've done.
Yeah, it's close to the middle, yeah.
It's well built. It's got a fun atmosphere. It's got a few moments. The card's set up okay. It's just got some shitty wrestling besides a great main event. A little rough on commentary and not super rewatchable. So I think that's a mid show. So it's middle of our list. It's probably not many people would think this, but it's one spot above NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4 and one below Hell in a Cell 2015.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the blood on the mat matches the blood on your hands. That Brooklyn 4 is likely that low. I'm guessing that was a classic Marcus Fuller hatchet job.
Well, I don't know. Are Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa wrestling like the Roman Reigns in the Big Show? Probably needs to be further down the list.
Just saying.
Yeah. As far as one match shows go, I think this is a pretty good one. All the short stuff's, all the bad stuff's kind of short. Nothing's really too long. It's not like we're getting like 10 minutes of something that drags. You know, like Rydell and Flandell and Johnson is short. You know. And then Brett and Bulldog is so good. You know, kind of pulls up a lot of the show.
I'm going to plug your Patreon because I want to suggest a topic for you guys. The Patreon is patreon.com final wrestling place. There's a free tier, but support the boys. That's producer Tim. That's Marcus. They got some really cool content. If you're into, you know, trying to make some money on sports, you get a daily email from Marcus, the Opportunity Corner. They do a lot of cool concept shows as well as other stuff on the Patreon, so check that out. I think you guys should like look at famous one-match cards and rank them. So, like in your houses, kind of lend themselves. There's a lot in your houses that are kind of like one-match carried, so you'll probably get a lot of those. But maybe look at cards where like one match is an all-timer and nothing else is over 3 stars, something like that, and see where they stack up against each other. Against like Mind Games, right? Where it's like, it's similar to me. Like you get Shawn and Foley and then a bunch of slop, right? And the like International Incident kind of similar as well. So there's a lot of those kind of speckled throughout, like Ground Zero, maybe kind of in there. We'll be covering that soon on Warzone. We'll see if that's true or not. But anyway, just an idea for you folks.
I like it. All right.
Marcus, you and I will be back in 2 weeks with Royal Rumble 1996. I'm going to plug one more time, No Holds Barred, to listen to the rebooking of this era. Again, you have to go back in the archives to find like the year because we've been doing them as every month goes along. We just did In Your House 5 and Rumble 96. That's why I'm plugging it. It's live now. The final one covering In Your House 6 and WrestleMania 12 will be up around WrestleMania season. All right, buddy. Why don't we go through our top 10 here before we close up shop? Our 10th show of all time is SummerSlam 2015 at a 39.25 war score.
Number 9 is WrestleMania 7 with a 39.5.
Number 8, Vengeance 2005 at a 41.
7, the SummerSlam 1990 with a 42.
Number 6, Royal Rumble 2002 at a 44.
Into the top 5, we get Survivor Series 1995 from the season with a 44.5.
Yeah, our last episode yielded a top 5 show. Number 4, SummerSlam 2005 at 46.5.
Number 3, my lord, WrestleMania 30 with a 47.25.
Number 2, WrestleMania 22 at 56.5.
And number 1 for now, ECW One Night Stand 2005 with a plus 79.
And if you look at this, buddy, there's one city with 3 shows on this list. If you count Hershey as like a Philly light.
Yeah.
There's only 2. I don't know why I was counting US 5 in my head. 2. We got One Night Stand at SummerSlam 90, both in Philly.
We had SummerSlam 90 in the top, right? at one point in
top
time.
7, yeah. So those are the two that are in Philly.
90's right there. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. So Phillies are only with multiple so far. All right, that'll do it. Like I said, we'll be back in 2 weeks with Rumble 96. Check out everything here on the No-So. We appreciate your patronage and appreciate all of you sharing, liking, subscribing. Smash that subscribe button, as the kids say. Sign up for the free or paid Patreon at Final Wrestling Place. We appreciate you. We love you. Live your life above replacement level. Watch out for Santa Claus. Ho, ho, ho. We're out. Talk to you soon.